Islam Makhachev has taken a dig at the current lightweight champ Ilia Topuria for not giving a title shot to the #1 ranked contender. Islam claims Ilia Topuria is avoiding Arman Tsarukyan. He points out that Ilia has even said online he would rather retire than fight Arman. Makhachev adds that Arman is on a strong win streak and is clearly the toughest test for the champion, making it obvious in his view that Ilia is ducking him.
Я хотел задать вопрос Исламу. Считаешь ли ты Армана самым серьезным соперником для Ильи? И не кажется ли тебе, что Топурия избегает его?
Ну, что избегает, не секрет. Я уже видел там баталии в интернете, где он говорит, я лучше завершу карьеру, чем буду с ним драться. И я думаю на данный момент, что Арман набрал хорошие обороты, и это самый серьезный экзамен для чемпиона.
Earlier, Topuria dismissed the idea of fighting Tsarukyan, making it clear he didn't take him seriously as a challenger. He questioned Arman's reliability and argued that the matchup held no interest for him, going as far as suggesting he would give up his title instead of accepting that fight.
Listen, when you put so much effort in the game and you have a guy in front who you don't know that maybe he could pull out from the fight, that's not something good for us. It's not on my back, bro. I don't care. You're gonna give him a fight before the title shot because there is no way. I'm the world champion. I'm never gonna give him a chance to fight for the title. I will be like, listen, if that's the case, take my belt. I don't do it.
However, Makhachev pointed out that the lightweight division made the most sense with Topuria facing Tsarukyan. He viewed Tsarukyan as someone who had already shown he belonged among the best and deserved the spotlight. In his opinion, Arman's skills and mentality could be enough to hand Topuria a loss.
На твой взгляд, сейчас самый справедливый бой за чемпионство в легком весе между кем? Между Илией Топурией и Арманом Царукяном?
Ну да, конечно. Если кто-то когда-то, не знаю, в истории страховал бой, делал вес, он всегда дрался почти. Ну, я не помню в истории, чтобы не давали бой. Арман сделал последний турнир вес, подстраховал бой. И я думаю, он должен быть следующий. Он доказал, что у него же была проблема с весогонкой. Он доказал, что может спускаться, гонять вес. И я думаю, что это самый актуальный бой на данный момент.
У кого было бы больше всего шансов на победу?
Ну, я думаю, если честно, если Арман выйдет с правильным настроем, то он справится.
On the other hand, Paddy Pimblett expressed confidence about his improvements, saying he was sharpening his stand-up game with Topuria in mind. He admitted striking timing was a key focus, but reminded that his grappling had always been his strongest weapon, comparing his ground control to how Chimaev kept Duplessis stuck on the mat.
5 rounds in the bag there. My striking time doesn't feel there at the minute, to be honest. Last week my striking time felt good, and I've done 5 rounds with Luke, so it's just probably woke up on the wrong side of the bed today. Obviously, I've got to get that striking time better if I'm fighting El Chirizo. That's a lot what I want to work on, but my grappling always feels phenomenal. As you see in them rounds, lad, when I get people on the floor, they don't get up, lad. Smother people. Like Kamzat against DDP the weekend, once I get you down and I'm on top of you and I'm smothering you, lad, you're not getting up, lad. I'm controlling you. I'm making you feel my weight and making you feel some shots at the same time. That's the thing, lad, when I get on top of someone, you're not getting up.
However, Ilia Topuria feels Paddy Pimblett is the easiest fight for him in the lightweight division. He looks at a matchup with Pimblett as the simplest path to make a statement. He saw it as a straightforward fight that would let him dominate from start to finish while putting on a show. In his view, the bout would highlight clear gap in skill between him and Paddy.
What is going on with Paddy?
With Paddy, all the fans around the world, I think that they want to see that fight. And at the same time, I have to be honest, I think it's one of the easiest fights that I could have in the lightweight division. I don't know, I can do with him whatever I want to do in reality. It's very excited fight for the fans.
Yeah.
Where I'm gonna enjoy a lot the whole process, and at the same time it's a fight where I'm gonna be able to shine once again.
Ilia Topuria is so confident against Pimblett that he predicts the fight won't make it past the first round. He even talks about picking a flashy submission just to entertain the fans, and for him, the matchup is more about proving the huge skill gap than about real competition.
How would you win? When would you win? Give us some of that Ilia prediction magic.
Against Paddy?
Yeah.
I have to think about it. I promise you, I could choose the way I want to finish.
First round?
Be like, that's for sure. He's not gonna stay there for more than 1 round with me. But I don't know, maybe it's gonna be cool to submit him in the ground with a triangle choke from the mount. something like that. Like, as I told him, put my in his forehead.
In response, Paddy Pimblett boosts the hype by claiming he can stop Topuria in dramatic fashion, comparing it to McGregor's quick knockout of Aldo. He jokes about ending it within seconds, but insists he'd rather drag it out to punish Ilia more. His words show he's brimming with confidence and determined to deliver a statement performance.
I just think I'm his kryptonite, and people can laugh at me all they want when I say it, but I genuinely believe I'd finish him. I don't see him lasting 5 rounds with me. I genuinely believe I'd finish him. Keep having mad dreams that I finish him in like the first 10 seconds at Aldo, but that wouldn't be good enough for him. I'd want to beat him up for a consistent couple of rounds, hit him with over like 70 elbows, disfigure him a little bit, and then finish him.
Meanwhile, Arman Tsarukyan acknowledges Paddy Pimblett's abilities but doubts he can succeed against elite competition. He feels Paddy is capable of beating veterans or fighters on a decline, yet against top-level names like himself, Topuria, or Makhachev, he doesn't believe Paddy has any real chance.
Do you think Paddy's good, or do you think he's just hype that's going to fizzle out at some point, or do you think he's legit?
He's legit. He's legit, but not like a top 5 fighter level. He can beat like Charles maybe now, because nowadays he can beat Charles. He can beat maybe Gagey, but he never gonna beat Topuria, me, or Islam, who is on the prime right now. He can beat the people who is almost retired or lost fights,
Arman Tsarukyan expresses full confidence that he can overcome Ilia Topuria. He points to his complete skill set and relentless wrestling as tools that would neutralize the champion. His goal is to expose the hype around Ilia and demonstrate that he operates on a higher level.
I'm curious, tell us more about how you see a matchup with Topuria playing out.
I'm just take him down and hold him and just maul him. And I just finish him on the ground, and he's not gonna able to escape from me.
The wrestling and the takedowns are the key then.
Yeah, and my kicks, my wrestling, my ground and pound, and my strengths. Boxing, he's good on one thing, on the boxing, but me, wrestling, kicks, ground and pound, and like a control time.
So the more well-rounded fighter you believe is yourself.
4 versus 1, who's gonna win?
Sure.
If you're not gonna stay on his boxing distance, how he's gonna beat you? I don't know.
On the other hand, Charles Oliveira backed Tsarukyan as the rightful next opponent for Topuria, pointing to his position at the top of the rankings. He recalled that Arman once had a title opportunity lined up, but had to step away because of injury, which, in his view, only strengthened the case for giving him another chance now.
Tentando esse espaço para disputar o cinturão, quem que você imaginaria que seria uma luta interessante e que causaria talvez uma dificuldade pro Topuria?
Cara, não vou te falar nem de dificuldade, nem interessante. Eu acho que o cara que merece isso é o Arman, o número 1 do ranking. Então o Arman merece essa luta, sabe, tá esperando ali, ele lutar pelo título, teve lesão, saiu, então acho que é o Arman.
UFC legend Daniel Cormier also firmly backs Tsarukyan as the rightful title challenger, stressing that others in the division hadn't matched his consistency. He felt Arman had already shown he belonged at the top, and that his run proved that he was the clear option to compete for the belt next.
I don't understand how anyone in this weight class can say that they should get a title shot over Arman Tsarukyan. He was the #1 contender for the last year. He was in line to fight for the belt in Los Angeles, and then it didn't happen. It was because his back went out, right? Some people were saying it was a weight issue. Well, today he stepped on the scale as a backup fighter and looked in phenomenal shape. It just feels like Arman Tsarukyan should be next to fight for the championship.
Moreover, Khabib Nurmagomedov admits Ilia Topuria stands little chance against Arman Tsarukyan. He highlights how Arman has grown into a well-rounded fighter with smart distance management, effective kicks, and the ability to neutralize strikers. Khabib also notes that Tsarukyan's experience and careful study of opponents make him more dangerous than ever. In his view, Topuria's approach would not work against someone this complete. And right now, he considers Arman the top lightweight in the division.
Давай предположим, что все случилось, Tsarukyan с Topuria дерутся. Ты кого видишь фаворитом в этом бою?
Я не вижу шансов у Topuria.
То есть ты считаешь, что Арман...
Я ему подарки тоже не даю. Арман слишком дистанционно дерется. С ударниками. Держит дистанцию хорошо, ногами лучше работает. И сейчас уже Арман слишком хорошо. Он уже у него есть материал, который он может посмотреть и хорошо изучить. Если 3 боя назад, если он с ним дрался, может, он не так опасался. Но сейчас уже видно то, чего можно опасаться от Топурии. Я считаю, что в данный момент лучший боец в легком весе это Топурия.
Ты про Tsarukyan.
Да, я про Tsarukyan.
Khabib Nurmagomedov views Arman Tsarukyan as a clear favorite against Ilia Topuria, giving him an 80-20 edge. He credits Arman's complete skill set, mixing wrestling, ground control, and sharp striking as the reason he can dictate the fight. Khabib also emphasizes Tsarukyan's growth in fight IQ, noting how he studies opponents and stays composed. Along with his size, strength, and non-stop pressure, Khabib believes Arman would be the physically superior fighter once they step into the cage.
Выиграет он при этом за счет борьбы, правильно?
За счет ММА стиля.
Но
это не вольная борьба.
Но будет проходить, да?
Арман может повалить, у него хорошие локти в партере. Очень хорошие локти. Может бороться, разбаривать, спину забирать.
А вот в эту опасную дистанцию с Топурией просто не зайдет.
Не зайдет, слишком уже есть бои, он уже может посмотреть, изучить. Я например, 80-20, я вижу победителем Армана. Я считаю, что его борьба, его прессинг, его говорить, это тоже надо учитывать. Он выше него почти на 10 сантиметров, если не ошибаюсь. И он больше него весом, и в день боя он будет больше него. И, конечно, борьба, она всегда рулила. Да, особенно когда такие бои бывают.
Khabib Nurmagomedov stresses that wrestling would be the deciding factor if Ilia Topuria fought Arman Tsarukyan. He notes that Ilia has never been tested by a high-level wrestler, and since most of his opponents are primarily strikers, Khabib even challenges people to point out a single fighter Topuria has faced who used wrestling as a real weapon, arguing that none of them came close.
Мы все знаем, какая борьба у Холлоуэя и какая борьба у последний Чарльз Оливер. У них ее практически нет. Они ударники. Они пошли на рожон и хапнули свое. А человек, который взял ногу, поборолся, взял корпус, поборолся. С такими он не дрался, он дрался со всеми ударниками. Волконовский не борется, другие не борются. Ну, с кем он дрался? Просто назови хоть одного, хоть чуть-чуть, даже не 50%, который хоть 20% используют борьбу. Ну, интересный бой будет.
Khabib Nurmagomedov admits the matchup is intriguing and suggests the UFC is hesitant to put Tsarukyan against Topuria too soon. He recognizes that Ilia holds more star power at the moment, but believes a major victory for Arman would force the promotion's hand and make the fight unavoidable.
Я считаю, что, я знаю, что UFC опасаются, не хотят его так быстро убирать, Топурию. По-любому, он как медийная личность в данный момент
и поэтому может
больше, чем Арман. Ну, если даже вылезет сейчас Арман, если один бой выиграет, куда его деть?
Да, деваться некуда будет.
Они же не могут его спрятать.
However, Daniel Cormier pushes back in Khabib Nurmagomedov's view that Arman Tsarukyan holds an 80-20 edge over Ilia Topuria. He argues that kind of dominance only fits rare figures like Khabib or John Jones, who rule their divisions without defeat. Cormier makes it clear he rejects the notion, saying no fighter today could realistically beat Topuria 8 times out of 10. Daniel Cormier said 80 to 20% is crazy. 80 to 20% is hard when anyone's fighting. The only time 80 to 20% could be thought of in fights has been in the case of Khabib and John Jones. They're the only people who have gone through this whole thing without losing. I don't believe that for 1 second. I really do disagree with Khabib in that one. There is not a guy in the world that I believe is going to beat Ilia Topuria 8 out of 10 times. Renato Moicano dismisses Arman Tsarukyan as an overhyped contender and doubts his ability to compete with Ilia Topuria. He predicts Ilia's power and aggressive approach would overwhelm Arman in a matchup. Moicano adds that beyond fighting, Tsarukyan isn't the type of person you'd want to connect with outside the cage.
Arman Tsarukyan, eu não acho ele bom do jeito que a galera fala. Eu acho que o Topuria ia fuder ele. Eu não tenho nada contra ele, mas eu também não gosto dele, entendeu? Eu não tenho nada contra ele. Não é um cara que eu seria amigo, entendeu? Não é um cara que eu seria amigo. Porque, eu não sei, eu acho ele arrogante, entendeu? Eu acho ele arrogante. Eu não gosto de pessoas que se acham melhores do que as outras, entendeu? Porque você pode ser melhor do que outra pessoa, certamente.
Dan Thomas argued that Tsarukyan posed the toughest test for Topuria, crediting him with sharper distance control and superior wrestling compared to Pimblett. He admitted that Ilia would likely have little trouble against Paddy if the fight went to the mat. Still, he expected Paddy to be chosen first for the title fight, pointing to a star power and ongoing rivalry with Topuria.
Who is the most likely to get the title shot?
I think Paddy is still most likely to get it right now. He's just gonna have to be fair with the number.
Yeah, he's gonna have to be. He's gonna have to be. Who's best suited to be the most competitive with Topuria out of those
Arman.
three? Gaethje, Patty, or Arman?
Arman.
That's what I thought too.
Din Thomas emphasized that Tsarukyan's style made him a far greater obstacle for Topuria than Pimblet. He highlighted Arman's sharp timing, versatile striking, and ability to transition quickly on the ground as factors that could create constant problems. In contrast, he felt Paddy would struggle to keep up and likely be dominated if taken down, which is why he singled out Arman as the toughest matchup for the champion.
Arman, 100%. Here's why. Paddy might kick better. They might be close in that. But I think Arman will understand the range a little better, and he shoots better. I think he shoots better than Paddy. Yeah, I think Arman does the best against him just because he'll kick more high kicks, and he'll use the range a little better on the outside and shoot faster.
And scramble better.
Yeah, and scramble better. Paddy will just pull guard, and Ilia might even dominate him on the ground. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
yeah, I thought the same thing.
Javier Mendez also views Tsarukyan as the one opponent who could truly trouble Topuria at lightweight. He expected Arman to lean on relentless wrestling instead of relying on striking, creating problems that others hadn't been able to. While he respected Ilia's overall ability, especially his defense against Oliveira's grappling, he still believes Tsarukyan's pressure on the mat could be a unique test for the champion.
Arman Tsarukyan would be the one that, in my opinion, might give him the most problems because Arman's not going to stand with him. Arman's going to make it a grappling war. So it's going to be a war of nutrition. Can Ilia survive the continuous ground attack that Arman's going to put on him? And that would be the test. Can he do that? I don't know. Maybe he can. I mean, look what he did to Charles. Charles came in for the takedown. He freaking switched it on him midair. That was very impressive, man.
So that's all we have from today's video, and hopefully you enjoyed it. Share your thoughts about it in the comment section and subscribe to our channel to get more updates about this highly anticipated encounter.